Oh, hey YouTube, I'm Dan Salem. I'm live on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel. I'm just playing around with filters over on Facebook Live because I'm about to go live on Facebook's creator app, which are the same as on Instagram, which are the same as on Snapchat. So YouTube, I bet you should have filters on your live stream very soon. Now, I chose not to go with the mustache and glasses because I felt like it would be a little startling. That being said, let's go live over on Facebook at the Dan Salem. And 3, and 2, and 1. Hello. I'm Dan Salem. I'm live on Facebook at Dan Salem. I'm live on YouTube, BuzzChomp's YouTube channel. I'm always on Twitter at the Dan Salem with a cool new film icon now added to my name because I thought that was super awesome. It ties the whole brand together. BuzzChomp's got one. Pill Talk TV's got one. I got one. My wife will add one soon. We're here to talk the NFL. This is an NFL draft live stream That's right. The NFL draft is actually next week. It is next week. I can't believe we've finally sort of almost got here. And it's next week, 10 days. And it's next week. It's next freaking week. That being said, free agency never seems to sleep, never seems to die. And the one and only Dez Bryant was released last Friday. Now, it was probably a month ago. Todd and I debated the Dallas Cowboys offseason. We're going team by team through all 32. And they were one of our initial 10, I believe. And basically, we came away with, I said, they better keep Dez Bryant. The Cowboys better keep Dez Bryant. They are on the precipice of the upper echelon in the NFC. Fell a little short last year, but Ezekiel Elliott missed almost half the season or month. It was the will he or won't he thing. It was all crazy. And Dez Bryant has been a reason why they've had offensive success. Tony Witten, did he retire? I think so. Oh, yeah. And I gotta say, I don't know who their tight end is anymore. I think maybe Witten's still playing, but he's kind of at the end of his career. Elliott's excellent. Yes, I know, Maddie. Dak Prescott's very, very good. But quarterbacks need people to throw to. Period. You're back. Thank you for joining us. We missed you here on the live stream. So basically, a quarterback requires someone to throw the ball to. Dez Bryant, although he has been declining over the last couple of years. I'm going to put declining in quotes because I will tell you his stats in a minute. He still was commanding a double team. And so that really takes a lot of pressure off the running game, takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback. It opens things up for other wide receivers. I know, Maddie. It really opens it up when you're getting one receiver that demands a double team. Now, Bryant, let's take a look back at his career. Started in 2010, so yeah, he's towards the end of his career, but he's got another couple seasons left. I bet he plays 10 full years at least, maybe 3 more to round this baby out. Okay, well, I'll get to the stats. They're demanding it there. Long time indeed. Thank you. Glad to have you back. Chatting with one of our viewers here. So, Dez Bryant. He is now free. Yes, he's played his entire career with Dallas. Something about I like to see players end the careers, play their whole careers for one team. It's so rare. And it's kind of amazing. If Tom Brady pulls it off, that's awesome. It's hard to do because you want to get what you're worth. You want to stay on a contender. You want to feel valued by your team. And all those things kind of come to a head when you're later in your career, like Brian is. He had his best season in 2014, 16 touchdowns. That's kind of amazing. He got 6 last year, 8 the year before. Not bad. He played a full 16 games last year too, which is kind of awesome. Still averaging 12 yards a catch. That's decent. He's never really averaged much. He averaged 15 one season. So he's always, or 2 seasons, I should say. He's always in that 12 to 15 range. It's pretty good. And last year he had almost 70 receptions. That's great. 800 yards. He had 800 yards the year before that. I'm I'm going to skip 2015 because he missed half the year. The year before that was his best year, 1,300, 1,200, 1,300, 900, 500 in the first year of his career. So basically, the only year he got, so rookie year aside, the only year he got under 800 yards receiving was 2015 when he only played 9 games. So I'm kind of like, how do you mark the decline? So he peaked in 2014. It was the midpoint of his career, and he had his best season. 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns. Great. He hit a that was wonderful. Then he missed some time, so he only had 3 scores, 400 yards. I excuse that. He came back from the injury strong. 8 touchdowns, 800 yards. Then 6 touchdowns, 800 yards. Considering Dallas's offense is predicated on the run the last 2 years, for him to get 800 yards receiving is excellent. He's demanding respect from the defenses. So who's going to do that for Dallas now? I mean, maybe the answer is, quite frankly, that they're going to find out in the draft. What's my wife's name? Randy Mellon. So maybe the Dallas is angling for a wide receiver in the draft. That's quite feasible at this point. I went to the Dallas Cowboys page and it's talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. What the heck is wrong with this thing? So I mean, they picked 19th in the first round. They got a decent number of picks. They got 3 6th round picks and 2 4s. They're picking every round, so they can get a lot of players. Sure, but they need to get like a receiver that's going to get 800 yards. I mean, the Jets didn't have a number 1. But they were functioning with 2s and 3s last year, and they did a great job. I reference them because they're my team. Dez Bryant has been a number 1. Perhaps he's better suited as the number 2 now, but he's a wicked high-end number 2 receiver. Like, if he doesn't get double-teamed, he's just big and strong, and they're going to have to recognize whoever signs him. So Dallas, maybe they go receiver in the first or second round. But right now, Dez Bryant's still showing up on their depth chart. Of course they are. Because they got Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley. I guess I shouldn't assume this is accurate because ESPN does not update his depth chart until the season starts. Let me double check. Because I just don't. Hey, Maddie, I don't know who their wide receivers are. Like, they don't have a number 1 right now, pretty much. I guess that's the best way of saying it. Deontay Thompson, Lance Lenore, Terrence Williams. Oh, they signed Allen Hurns. Okay, I forgot. He's decent. He and Cole Beasley. So they basically got 3 2s: Allen Hurns, Terrence Williams, and Cole Beasley. They don't have a number 1. Again, they have a really strong running game, and Witten is still with them. But he's a red flag for injury for me. He's just at the very end of his career. Another season or 2 left. So I forgot that they got Hurns. That's a help. But Hurns and Williams and Beasley with Dez Bryant, oh my goodness. Because you got to respect Bryant. That opens these up for the other guys. If they kind of, like, you can't just single coverage all these players. But now Bryant's out of there. They could double cover one of these other guys who doesn't deserve it and then shut him out. And then it really hurts. Like, if you don't have a passing game, what are you going to do? You can't just run the ball all the time. You're going to run Ezekiel Elliott into the ground. And he was really good in the passing game too. So Dallas likes to throw the football. They had a really good offensive line. They had to draft a wide receiver. So I was really thinking they would keep Bryant. Mainly, I mean, I guess they saved like $8-9 million. So that was the reason to cut him. They obviously decided they couldn't trade him and get more value than that. And now they have more flexibility. There's Mandy. Someone was asking about Mandy. Not someone. Pikachu Plaza was asking about Mandy. So, basically, the Cowboys now have a hole at wide receiver because I don't believe – now Allen Hurns could prove me wrong, but I don't see him stepping into that number 1 role for the Cowboys. I don't see Cole Beasley or Williams being a number 1 guy. Without the number 1 on the team, one of them is going to be forced to play number 1, and that's really going to hurt. Our lad slots in Deontay Thompson right now, who was out of Buffalo, as their number 1 guy. Prove me wrong. I just when you got Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and the potential for a star number one, you don't get rid of him. But they did. So we move along. Dallas will likely try to fill that void in the draft and see if they can strike gold again like they did with Elliott and Prescott in recent years. So where does Dez Bryant fit? Now he's making a pitch to the Giants because, hell, if he's opposite OBJ, Odell Beckham's going to get the double teams. And we've seen how great Sterling Shepard was when the field opens up for you because they're doubling Odell Beckham Jr. Dez Bryant, Odell Beckham Jr., and Sterling Shepard, oh my goodness. We thought that it was unfair last year with the potential of Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and I'm blanking on his name, who came from the Jets. Sorry. But he got hurt. Beckham got hurt, and it all fell through. Regardless, Eli Manning with weapons, he finds the open man. I like the potential of Bryant on the Giants. Now, whether the Giants want to spend the money on him seems unlikely. They're picking third. He really just wants to stick it to the Cowboys. I can't see him in an Eagles uniform. I could see him going to the Redskins because the Redskins need weapons for Alex Smith. I don't know if he wants to play for Washington, but if he wants to stay in the NFC East bad enough, he may end up as a Redskin. I mean, the Patriots don't have a clear number one receiver, but they won't sign Dez Bryant. Too expensive. It's not their way. I could see him ending up with someone like the Packers, who have not replaced Jordy Nelson in full. Now, if he's willing to sign a one-year deal at a time because he's at the end of his career, Dez Bryant with Aaron Rodgers. Dez Bryant has, in the past, made his quarterbacks better. If he plays with a quarterback that you make – we have a friend who's assuming we watched Fear the Walking Dead, but she's mistaken. If he plays with a quarterback who can make him better, watch out, because he's been pretty good the last 2 years. I mean, this whole decline has been trumped up by the media. I know. So I hesitate to say I want my Jets to get him, only because we are really a young team, and I want to see our current receivers develop and stand out. I'm not sure. The problem with Dez is, maybe this is overstated. Ooh, the Yankees down 7-0. I'm not sure he brings veteran leadership to the locker room like other players with his caliber and his career would. Now, he probably wants to start afresh in that regard. He has gotten a bad rap over the years in Dallas. Dallas is America's team, so they're kind of got all eyeballs on them, right? But I'm not sure, he doesn't seem suited for a young team like the Jets, who really need that. They would want the veteran presence to lead, and he just doesn't seem like he meshes with that culture. Now, I could see him in Oakland. Hell, Derek Carr's in Oakland. I could see him even ending up in Denver or something, because I just feel like he'd fall in line there. Now they're kind of rebooting. If he wants to win a title, so I would assume he would want to win a championship and or stay in the NFC East. But he might just be going for the money. And so, Carolina was on the precipice. The Falcons could. These are contending teams. Seattle, I just don't know if they have the cap space to afford him, or if he's willing to play for less than he would otherwise demand. We will find out. Okay. Any other Dez Bryant questions before I move into my draft thoughts with 10 days to go? All right. So there's 10 days to go. There's rumors swirling that Aaron Rodgers is unhappy with the moves Green Bay is making, but now he's coming out, trust the process. That's he's stealing that from the Sixers. Aaron Rodgers is great. They better do everything they can to get back to the Super Bowl with him on that team. Yes, Maddie. Now, I hope she's not ripping things. Yeah. Now, is Aaron Rodgers really unhappy, or is this his pitch for them to get a Dez Bryant, or to really make moves in the draft? Because the Packers got a decent team together. He's coming off an injured year. He wants to prove himself. I understand he's trumping it up. All good? Hi. I'm going to be done in a few minutes. Thank you for your patience. But the draft's next week. There's a lot of speculation, discussion, what have you. What will happen in the top 3 and the top 5? My brother had a nice article on BuzzChomp.com, our site here, regarding what the Giants' options are with the 2nd overall pick. And it was basically predicated on the fact that it hinges completely on what the Browns do at number 1. So he laid out 5 scenarios, and I will take that one step further. What my Jets do at 3 hinges entirely on what happens with the Browns and the Giants at 1 and 2. 100%. Because I really think the Jets. Hi, Jack. Yes. Yes. Jill and Jack. Hi. How do you get mod? That's a good question. This kid that played. Oh, I want to talk about video. This made me think I want to talk about video game in a second because I think everyone's playing this Front. I'm bad with names today. It's a new video game, Front something. It's a 100-person PvP battle royale. It's kind of amazing. I got off topic. So the Jets, right? I think that they would love to get to pick Sam Darnold. Oh, Fortnite. Yes. Thank you. Jets. Thank you. I'm on there. Fortnite's kind of awesome. Add me. Gallant Bold. Yes. If you're on Fortnite, add me. I'd love to have some friends on there. I'm starting to get the hang of it. The game's challenging at first. And I've tried to figure out but now I'm actually able to aim and kill people. And that's kind of like the next level. I've only been playing for a day, so cut me a little slack. But anyways, my Jets at 3, right? I think they'd really like Sam Darnold, USC quarterback. I don't think they ever expected him to be available. But then they had a last-second decision to meet with him. So then they decided we better do our homework just in case. I don't know. It seems kind of fishy. I think they're throwing smoke. They might actually really prefer UCLA's Josh Rosen, and I'm not opposed to that. He is just a stud. UCLA is not a big Big Ten program like USC. It is in basketball, but it hasn't been in football, right? And yet, sorry, Facebook. UCLA got elevated because of him. I also like Baker Mayfield, but that being said, I'd rather see the Jets get Rosen or Darnold, and I do think that the Browns will likely. I don't think the Browns will draft a quarterback at 1. I've been saying this all along. They added Tyrod Taylor, who is really, really good, and the fact of the matter is, if they can't figure out who they like better out of these 4 guys, they should take the best player available, and that is Chubbs or Barkley. And my personal preference is now it is really, really hard to convince somebody to go with a running back 1st overall because of the durability issues. But Elliott got drafted high, top, I think it was 5th or 6th, just a couple seasons ago, and he had an immediate impact for Dallas. Barkley on the Browns would transform that offense. So that being said, I don't know, do you pick him 1 overall? I think you get the best player available. And that maybe they go with the offensive lineman or they go with Chubbs as the defensive end, right? And then because they're picking at 4. So if they go the best player available and they don't really have a preference at quarterback, then they go, let the 2 quarterbacks go to the Giants and the Jets respectively, potentially. Yes, I know. It's kind of amusing, right? And then they can get pick at 4. Or they pick both best players available who aren't quarterbacks. Because, they have Tyrod Taylor, who's a pretty damn good quarterback, and they don't need a stud quarterback. They don't need a project. If you get a ton of talent around Tyrod, who's proven to be able to lead a team, this is a really good football team in Cleveland. Finally. Yeah, Maddie, finally. So I could really make a strong argument for the Browns picking both top players because the Jets are definitely going to take a quarterback. And the Giants are 50-50. Eli Manning's got 2 more years, but they need a successor, and I don't think he's in-house. I don't see it. Now, the Giants could go Barkley with the running back number 2. It's just a risk still to take a running back so high because of the durability issues. If he gets a knee injury, what do you do? It's kind of SOL. So, and the injury rate for running backs is much higher. But Barkley seems like a slam dunk. So, if he's a slam dunk, I mean, if he slips to the Jets at 3, I don't think they take him. I think now there's the caveat. If both the Browns and Giants pick quarterbacks and the Jets are left with the consolation prize quarterback, do they take the best player available or do they pick a quarterback? They've traded up, mind you. But to trade up and get the best player available at 3 is kind of awesome if your 2 quarterbacks that you really want and Rosen and Darnold are taking 1 too. So there's a lot of fun scenarios here. We'll see what happens next week on Thursday night. I have a feeling the Browns won't pick quarterback 1. I'm going to flip a coin for the Giants at 2, and then the Jets will grab their man at 3. He'll be there for them waiting. That's kind of just my gut feeling. I think the Jets will finally get lucky. They've gotten lucky. Leonard Williams slipped to them at 6. I think they're going to get their guy. I think it'll be Darnold, USC. Suck for Sam will have paid off at 3 for the Jets. Any final questions from my 2 live audiences before I sign off tonight? We got one more live stream before the NFL draft. We'll see if Dez Bryant signs before next Tuesday. Any final nuggets? See if anybody makes trades before next Tuesday. I have a feeling there's going to be quite a few draft night trades. I have a feeling the Browns are hard taking offers for the first overall pick. And then depending on what happens at 1, 2, and 3, that number 4 is going to be up for grabs. Yep, NFL draft, baby, 10 days away. All right, well, thank you guys. Add me on Fortnite. I'm Gallant Bold. That's my screen name. Also, yeah, if you find me by my username, and I'll add you back. I'm live, Dan Salem, BuzzChomp's YouTube channel, The Dan Salem on Facebook, at The Dan Salem on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be live next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, like I am every Tuesday, talking the NFL with you. Thank you so much, and good night. Good night.